In this video, you'll learn some simple rules to draw ray diagrams for lenses. We're going to start with these three beams of light that we're going to shine through a convex lens. You'll notice that when these light goes through the convex lens, they refract towards each other and they converge at a point which we call the focal point. This leads to our first rule, which states that a light beam that it goes parallel to the optical axis will refract through the focal point on the other side. And by the way, the white line right here is referred to as the optical axis. Now, rule 2 is like the opposite of rule 1. It just says that if you have a light beam going through the focal point, it will refract through the lens and go parallel to the optical axis. Next, we'll look at a concave lens. We're going to start once again with these three beams of light. We're going to shine it through the concave lens, and we notice that they diverge or moving away from each other. And if we were to extend these rays backwards, we see that they intersect. So they don't intersect on the right-hand side here because they're diverging. But on the left-hand side, when we extend these rays, we see that they do intersect. And that point where they intersect, we're going to refer to that as the focal point. And the focal length is the distance between the focal point to the lens. Now, this takes us to rule number 1, which states that a light beam that goes parallel to the optical axis will refract away from the focal point. And notice that this ray is on the opposite side of where we started from. And then rule number 2 is kind of like the opposite of rule number 1, which states that if you have a light beam that's going towards the focal point on the other side, it will refract and go parallel to the optical axis. Each of the examples that we're going to look at, we want to ask these three questions. Where is the object? Where is the image? And what are the image characteristics? Next, we're going to look at a series of examples with convex lenses. When you look through a convex lens, sometimes the images look smaller. Why is that? Well, you're about to find out by drawing these ray diagrams. So here is our green arrow, which is our object, and our object has a distance greater than twice the focal length. The focal length is the length from the lens to the focal point. We're going to first draw our red arrow, which is going to be an application of rule number 1, which states that a light beam that is parallel to the optical axis will refract through the focal point on the other side. And rule number 2 tells us that a light beam going through the focal point will refract and go parallel to the optical axis on the other side. Notice how these two light beams meet and they form an image here. And that this image, notice, is between the focal length and twice the focal length. The characteristic of this image is real, inverted, and smaller. Real means that these rays actually do meet at this point. Inverted just means that it's upside down or that it's flipped, and smaller just means that it's smaller than the size of the object. Sometimes you'll notice that there is a third ray that some people will draw, and notice that it also meets at where the red and the blue arrows meet. So what's the deal with this yellow ray? So this yellow ray just goes straight. So the rule here is that as long as it goes through the center of the lens here, it's going to go in a straight path. Now, the reason I'm not going to draw this every single time is because you really only need two rays. As long as you have two rays intersecting, you can find the location of the image. Next, we're going to look at an example with convex lens where the object is at twice the focal length. Here is ray 1, parallel to the optical axis, through the focal point, parallel to the optical axis, and you'll notice we get an image right here. You'll notice that the image is also twice the focal length, located at twice the focal length, and the characteristic of this image is that it's real, it's inverted, once again it's upside down, it's the same size as the object. Now we have an object between the focal length and twice the focal length. Here is ray number 1. It's parallel to the optical axis and goes through the focal point. Ray number 2 goes through the focal point and parallel to the optical axis. And here you see the image. Notice that the image is located at a distance greater than twice the focal length. The image is real, it is inverted, it's flipped like previously, and it has a larger size. It's larger than our object size. Now we have an object at the focal point. So we say that DO, which is the shorthand for saying object distance, is at the focal length. Here is ray 1. Ray is parallel to optical axis, goes through the focal point. And then ray 2, because it's on the focal point, we're just going to draw that third ray we talked about, that it's just a straight line if it goes through the center of the lens, so it goes straight. And notice that these two rays, they do not intersect. They do not meet. And so there is no image. These are parallel rays. You can say that the image distance is at infinity, but basically there's no image that is formed when the object distance is at the focal length. Now we have an object that is located at a distance of less than the focal length. We're going to once again draw our first ray. This is a ray going through the focal point. Notice that this focal point is behind the object, but our rule still applies. We have a ray that goes through the focal point. It's going to refract through the lens, and it's going to go parallel to the optical axis. For our second ray, the light beam is going to go parallel to the optical axis and refract through the focal point. Notice that these two rays do not intersect. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend these two rays backwards, and notice where they meet. That is going to be where our image is located. Notice that the image is on the same side as the object. And so we say that the image distance is going to be less than 0. It's going to be on the same side. It's going to be negative on the same side as the object. And here are the characteristics. It's virtual. What does that mean? Well, what that means is that the rays do not actually meet at this location. When our eyes see these rays, we're going to think that it came from this location, but the light ray didn't really come from this location because it was refracted through the lens, but our brain assumes light travels along a straight path. Also notice that this image is upright and it is larger than our object size. Now we're going to look at a concave lens. For the object position, I said that the object distance can be any because it doesn't matter where the object is, you're going to get the same characteristics. So let's start with ray 1. So we have a ray that is parallel to the optical axis and it refracts. And remember, for concave lenses, it's going to diverge, so it's going to go away from the focal point. And ray number 2, it's going towards the focal point of the side, and then it's going to go parallel to the optical axis. Notice that these two rays do not intersect, so we're going to have to extend those two lines back, and here is the image. This image can be anywhere between the lens and the focal point. The characteristic, once again, is the same regardless of where your object is located. The image will be virtual. By that, I mean that the light rays do not actually meet at this location. It's upright and it's smaller than the object size. Now I want to show you a cool little simulation here. So here we have the object is located beyond 2 focal lengths from the lens, and you can see the image characteristics here. And as I bring it closer, you can see what happens to the size of the image on the right-hand side. I'm going to continue to bring this closer to the lens. Here, the object is closer than the focal length, and notice how this image right here is upright and virtual and bigger. I can also make this into a concave lens, and then notice that no matter where I move it to, this image is always virtual, it's always upright, and you'll notice it's always smaller than the object. If you want to learn how to calculate some of these numbers, I'll show you how to do that in my next video, where I show you how to calculate lens problems.